In a poem by William Scott Wallace, there is a phrase that is repeated in each of the stanzas of the poem. It is, "The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world." I'm sure you've heard it. Once upon a time, in about the 12th century, there was a woman named Helene. She had just been married, and on her way back to go and live with her new husband's tribe, she was kidnapped and taken away to be the bride of a chief of another tribe. There she bore many sons, and when her husband, who had two wives, Helene was the second, when he was poisoned and dead, the tribe abandoned Helene, her husband's first wife, and their 7 children, all under the age of 10, left them. It was near winter. They took all their animals and abandoned them. Helene, if she had been a weaker woman, probably would have perished, but she took control. She pulled herself up and worked really, really hard and taught her children how to fish, how to forage, and they had to do a lot of foraging. According to the Mongol histories, she was a striking woman. She was someone to be admired. And it shows in the way that her son, who grew to be Genghis Khan, we're just going to gloss over the whole conquering, pillaging, murdering part there. But her son had a great respect for the Mongol women. And he held his daughters in great value and great esteem. He sought wisdom from his mother as long as she was living. He sought wisdom from his wives. He knew the value of them because his mother had taught him. And he transformed the way that women were treated in the area. They were no longer to be sold. He made it, can't believe it wasn't before, illegal to steal them away, because apparently that was just a thing that people did. We're glad he changed that one, right? But at the same time that Genghis Khan was taking over Eurasia, in China, the women's feet were being bound in order to stay subservient. You chose to be a mother, right? You chose it. Sometimes when someone says you chose this, it can be said in a negative way, as in, you chose this. Why are you complaining? Jeez. But you chose this even though you knew that it was going to be hard. You knew that there would be no vacations. You knew that your work would follow you everywhere. You may not have realized the extent of it following you literally everywhere. But you chose this even with the sleep deprivation. And quite frankly, that sleep deprivation, Navy SEALs, you ain't got nothing on mamas. In fact, I raised you your hell week by 5 years. I wish I was exaggerating. Your contribution as a mother is immeasurable. Your influence, as the poem says, the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. I mean, think about how many people complain about their mothers in therapy. Obviously, you got lots of influence. Hashtag goals. From the book Unquiet Women by Max Adams, there was a woman named Gudrider. She and her husband, whose name I cannot pronounce, so I will not try, they traveled from Iceland to the Americas around the year 1000, give or take. While there, she gave birth to the first child of European descent born in the Americas. She and her husband and their child, whose name I also cannot pronounce, traveled back to Iceland, then to Greenland, then to Norway. When she became a widow, she made a pilgrimage to Rome and then returned to Iceland and was a nun. But in her lifetime, according to the Icelandic stories that have been handed down for hundreds of years, she was and did play a major role in the mapping of the sea route to America, some 500 years before Christopher Columbus. She was a hand that rocked the cradle. It is felt through time, and we are the ones that mold and shape each new generation. It is an awe-inspiring responsibility. And we're not alone. We chose this. You chose it. You chose it even though it can be so lonely. even when you are literally never alone. You chose it even when your angelic demons are MMA style fighting in the middle of the grocery store where everyone can see and you're just still trucking along because what else are you going to do? You chose it. You chose to be that hand that rocks the cradle, even though sometimes it feels like it has ripped out the innards of your soul, just ripped it out and just chewed it up and then spit it out and then hocked a loogie at it for good measure. You are the hand that rocks the cradle. And I bet that you have heard so many times, and always with the highest of intentions. Enjoy every moment. They grow so fast. And internally you know what they mean. They mean, enjoy your kids, they're gonna grow up so fast. But when you are staring down a poo-poo filled toilet that is clogged that you have to literally reach your hand in to scoop out the contents of, you are not enjoying that moment. And that's okay. It is okay not to enjoy every moment, because not every moment is enjoyable. Yeah. So instead of saying enjoy every moment, I want to tell you to study their hands, make imprints, because their dimpled little fingers are going to grow so fast. Gaze into their eyes and see how they sparkle when they smile. Record their shenanigans to use as evidence against them when they are grown. Write and record their tiny voices and laughter so that you can hear it again. It is okay not to enjoy every moment, because not every moment is enjoyable. So take a deep breath, get yourself some tacos or some chocolate tacos, and be the hand that rocks the cradle and rules the world.